Well, hello everyone. It's Tim Brahim with Performance Experts Coaching and Leadership 360 with another business and life tip for you. And we're going to talk selling today, and in particular scripting. This is the major art form of what we do for a living. And your conversion ratio, your batting average, if you will, is critically important to your success. The top loan originators in the country are the ones that get the highest percentage of people to say yes to them. It's not about having to go out and have 40 real estate agents that refer business to you or spending inordinate amounts of money on marketing. It's about converting the opportunities that you have, and the words that come out of your mouth are very important to that equation. Now, one of the things that I want you to really be thinking about is what are the objections that you get that trip you up? And if you can identify, and of course the top two objections are your rate and then your closing costs. But there are other objections as well. Maybe if you're a broker, that you're not a mortgage banker, or that the realtor works with an in-house lender and doesn't want to take a chance in sending it out to somebody like yourself who's not a known quantity, etc. But there's really only so many objections that you get. And the art form of selling is to know those objections and to build scripting to counter those objections before they could ever be voiced. So at the end of the day, if your scripting is tight and you've countered all the objections of the person before they could ever voice them, you leave them disarmed, and all they really have left to do is just roll over and say, yeah, I'd like to work with you. So let me give you an example. This is a script that I should be able to rattle off pretty easily because God knows I did it thousands of times in my career. I mean, I used this script for probably a decade with tremendous success. And this is how I countered the subject matter of interest rate. Within the first 5 to 7 minutes of ever even having a conversation with the client, before they can even ask me what the interest rate was, I would get out in front of that conversation by saying something along these lines. Bill, I'm not a fan of throwing out a bunch of rates, payments, closing costs, tax deductibility, principal prepayment strategies, things of that nature at you over the telephone. In fact, I find it to be unprofessional when people that do what I do for a living do that, because I realize this isn't something that you do every day, and this is ultimately an incredibly important financial decision that you're about to embark upon. I mean, this is the largest amount of money that you'll ever borrow. And what I want to do is, rather than make that mistake of confusing you and being presumptive about things, I want to do a little bit of homework and research on your behalf. And I'm not going to charge you anything for it. Over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours, I'm going to talk to several different investors, and I'm going to look at what opportunities exist for you in the marketplace. I'm going to put together a comprehensive spreadsheet for you of 3 or 4 different loan options that might be in the right spot or the right place for you. And then I'm going to send it to you via email. And when you receive it by tomorrow at 5 o'clock, please give me a call and we'll go over it together. And we'll talk with numbers in front of you so I can make sure that you're well versed and that you feel knowledgeable before you make this important decision. Would that be okay with you? Now, never did Bill or Mary or anybody like that say, no, that's not okay with me. I mean, why would they, right? I mean, this is the right way of doing business. To take some time to think about it, to put together the right deal structure for them, to put the numbers in writing so they can be well informed and make an educated choice. And what I've just done is I've removed, for the time being, the subject matter of interest rate from the equation, which gives me an opportunity to impress them in other ways by putting my personal brochure in front of them, by putting a very comprehensive spreadsheet together in front of them and going over the numbers and taking the time to educate them for 20 to 30 minutes to really start to decommoditize myself, separate myself from the competition, and to position myself as a trusted advisor, somebody who's knowledgeable, that can teach them things that they never thought of before. That's when rate starts to become a non-factor. So start doing some of these things. Think about what you're getting tripped up on, and then start building scripting that will counter that objection before it ever gets voiced. Hopefully this is helpful to you. We've got more coming your way.